It's reasonable to conclude that the declarations of the states of emergency across a number of parishes is the Prime Minister performing political theatre. The signal had come from the JLP General Secretary and Minister of National Security from as far back as October 26th, trying to build interest for the JLP's annual conference. He said the Prime Minister will announce something on November 20th. That's this coming Sunday. From last weekend, the Minister, in his continued management by excuses approach to his portfolio, has been flailing around to find someone to blame, anything to blame, willing to go back 7 years to say that we didn't fund the police adequately. In fact, he copied the defund the police slogan that is popular in the USA. But the truth of the matter is, we could all see this building to try and create some interest in their conference. Since this year, Kingston and St. Andrew, one of the few sets of police divisions where we've actually seen significant reductions in murders and shootings. Murders down 17.5%, shootings down 23%. Yet, a state of emergency has been declared in Kingston and St. Andrew. So even by the JLP's justification of using it to address increasing violent crime, this doesn't qualify. Curiously, St. Elizabeth up 70% in terms of murders this year, Manchester up 70%, Trelawney up 70%. None of these parishes where the murder rate is increasing dramatically have we seen any initiatives to address bringing down the murder rate. The opposition has long held that the routine use of states of emergency as a tool of policing is unconstitutional. The courts have upheld that view in at least 2 cases. One is before the Court of Appeal now. We would have anticipated that the government, out of respect for the judgments of the court, would not have continued this unconstitutional use. But it really doesn't matter, because this is not about law and order. This is not about reducing violent crime. This is about political theatre and political propaganda, the main core competence of this Andrew Holness administration. So when you see the coverage of the Prime Minister's press conference, the headline is he's hoping that the opposition will support this declaration. When the Prime Minister was in opposition, he said, this is not a whole of society approach. This is the responsibility of government. There is a lot that can be done to reduce crime. 7 years later, we still haven't seen what that lot is from the Prime Minister. And now he's constantly seeking to deflect responsibility from himself, the figure in authority, to the opposition. I think the country is now fed up with that. You've been 7 years in office. You've been in office 11 of the last 15 years. Stop trying to blame others. Or, as former opposition leader Keith Rowley said, when a government is constantly blaming an opposition for their failure to perform, it's time to go.